Hey, good morning. It's been a while since I've been on and made a video, so welcome back to Growing Dreams Homestead. I am Dana, and we are homesteading on 10 acres in Indiana, and I thought today I would just take you on a full tour of our homestead so you can see everything we have going on and give you an update about how things are growing. So we'll start with a little history of our homestead and how we got here. So we bought our property in 2016. It was undeveloped. It was a cornfield, bean field for years, and then that was about 3.5–4 acres of it. Then there was a part that was completely overgrown with briars and brush, you know, taller than me. There was, you know, the 75 pecan trees here. They were already here from the previous owner, and then the 6 acres of woods with 2 creeks. So we started by clearing a small area to put our camper, and we would come down and camp on the weekends and work on the property. We built an outhouse first, you know, because gotta have a potty, and then a shed to put like our mowers and chainsaws and stuff in, and we just did that for a few years. And then in 2019 is when we started building our house and getting the foundation, the well, and everything in. So we moved in at the end of February 2020, right before, you know, everything went crazy. It was a perfect time to be out here. We were so glad that we got, you know, the house finished and got moved in at that time. So we've just been working on it from there, and I will show you, you know, where we're at and maybe share some of our dreams for the future. So we'll start at the top because we are on a big hill, and at the top is our house, and we have 44 solar panels. We do have a backup battery system that runs our freezers and refrigerators and the well and things like that. So there's our house. So we're gonna head down this way. So we did try to arrange our homestead in zones, so things closer to the house that we, you know, tend to daily, and then stuff farther away that we don't tend to as much. So with that permaculture, you know, in mind. So down here from the house is the garden, and we'll start there. So here is one of the gardens. This is the main vegetable garden. It is 50 by 60, I believe. And on this side, in this front raised bed, we have garlic, and there are a couple onions in there that got missed from last year. A beautiful clematis, my gate that I painted. I just love it. Up here we have strawberries, also mixed in with some onions, and we are getting red strawberries right now, just super nice. So here's a view of our garden. We do no-till in this garden, so lots of wood chips and compost. It's still early, so it's going to be really changing here soon. So we have carrots in this bed and some potatoes that we missed from last year. Then onions and lettuce. Over here we have some peppers. Unfortunately, something got in here. I'm thinking maybe birds, and ate the top off a bunch of my peppers. This bed is onions and spinach. Looks really nice. Then we have 4 beds of potatoes. Last year, I think we got about 150, maybe 200 pounds of potatoes. Then these beds, you can't really tell because they are very tiny peppers in there. And like I said, something ate the top off of some of them. So we'll see how that goes. Then we have tomatoes. These poles are for the Florida weed method of supporting them. I've done it a couple years. Never successfully. Usually it starts out successful, and then my tomatoes get big and the twine breaks or whatever, so I'm going to use some stronger string this year. I have some volunteer sunflowers, more tomatoes on this side, more tomatoes here. Nothing has ate them, thank goodness. And then this bed over here has zucchini and squash, nasturtium, radishes, and marigolds. That's my little mixture to help keep the bugs out of my squash, and it has worked. And over here I have my sunflowers, the specialty ones that I somehow bred on accident. And so we'll see how they do. Alright, so I built a arch trellis where beans and cucumbers will grow. Then we have the greenhouse back here. We'll go in there in a sec. So the view from this way of the garden. And this will be a jungle very soon. Alright, next to the garden, another zone 1 are the chickens. Because we are here every day. And so they have a 32-foot by 12-foot covered run. There are coops in there and nesting boxes. And then we use the electric net fence to give them rotational grazing. In the winter, I just open this fence over here and they go in there and hang out in the garden, take care of that for us. So, sweet chickens, most of them are in there in the shade right now. So here's a look inside the coop. Everybody's in here doing their thing. So we have a couple coops and nesting box. In this coop we have our babies that hatched on Easter. Hello, little babies. They will, hi sir, they will join the flock pretty soon. This is the inside of our covered run. So right next to the chickens is where our pigs are, and they are under the pecan trees. So you can see all the way down through here. There's 3 rows of trees. There's 75 pecan trees, and the pigs like it in here because it's nice and shady. So here's our piggies. They're doing well. Hi, babies. We do have a hot wire in there. Keeps them from digging up on the and pushing on the fence. But they are doing really good. They are enjoying the shade on this hot day. So this is our 2nd year raising pigs. I'm excited about it. I like raising pigs. They're sweet. The ones last year scared me a little bit. I don't know if it's because it was my first year, but they made me nervous. So these guys are a little bit more friendly, and they like to get scratches when I go in there and hang out with them, and they don't scare me as bad. So I don't know if I'm just getting used to them or if it's these pigs. But all right, we're gonna keep walking and head down to the greenhouse. So outside the garden, I have a strip of pollinator plants. This helps bring all our pollinator friends. Oh, there's my wind spinny. In here to the garden. It gets them, you know, the nectar and pollen that they like, and it gets them associating this area with, you know, the good stuff. So then they'll come and take care of the garden. So we had daffodils in the spring. The irises are finishing up blooming. The comfrey, it got so big it like fell over. I need to cut that back, but the bees are working on it right now. So there's yarrow in there, and then zinnias and lavender and things will be blooming soon. So definitely recommend planting a strip of pollinator plants near your garden. So then here's our greenhouse. This is all DIY, and I just love it. So it was a frame from like a tarp carport kind of thing, and then we had some windows and things given to us and a door, and then I bought the plastic panels. So I got about $700 in this. So there's some trees out here that need to get planted. I need a water in here. Alright, so here's the greenhouse. I do have the shade cloth on. It's pretty warm. So broccoli, lettuce, carrots, cabbage. Came out here last night, picked some cilantro for dinner. It was so good. Had pork nachos. There's some peppers in there, onions and garlic. Something came in and dug up one of my tomatoes. which made me sad, but I have lots of volunteers, so if I need to I can plant one of them. But I was really hoping to do these dwarf tomatoes in the greenhouse so it doesn't get swallowed up. And sage. I have a lot of herbs over here that will be going into the herb garden and also into the orchard, where I'm going to be planting a guild, and I will be making a video on that. So here is our shed, and there's fencing in there and push mowers and all kinds of stuff, and then we have a 280 gallon IBC tank that runs off of the roof, catches water, and then with the central location, so it's here, then there's the greenhouse, chickens, garden, pigs, and then through the trees over that way is the flower garden. So it's pretty centralized so that I can run a hose off of that and water things as I need, which is really nice. Okay, so from the water tank we're gonna head over to what I would consider like a zone 2. I'm not here every day, but we're here enough that it's still close to the house. So we'll start up by the orchard. Hi pigs, sweet babies. So this is our orchard. We have peaches, pears, apples, grapes, blueberries, plums. So I think we have 28 trees. We had 29. One did not come back from the winter. It was the one we planted last summer, so it didn't make it. Then we have 2 pears that are kind of struggling, so we may be getting them out. But yeah, here's our orchard. Then behind that is the herb and flower garden, which is looking lovely. Oh, I'm so excited. Guess what I see? My peonies are opening. I've been waiting for this. Look at you, gorgeous. Oh my gosh. I just love these. Look how beautiful. So we have the raised beds in the middle that have herbs. And I'll do a full garden or flower garden tour soon where I name everything and stuff like that. But this inside ring is all my perennial things, and I'm trying to establish, you know, this is only the 3rd summer for this. And then there's 2 outside rings that are planted with zinnias and sunflowers, and they are starting to come up. I need to get in there and weed. Yes, I hand weed this. Then we have like a bench and Kane's little swing where he hangs out. Alright, so we'll take a walk towards the back part of the developed part of our property. So this was probably about the first 2 acres I've showed you so far. So you can do a lot on just a few acres. So don't be discouraged. Don't think you need like a ton of land. You can grow a ton of food in a very small footprint. So we are going to walk back to where all of this started. So when we first came, we cleared a small little spot and put in the camper, and that's where we hung out, you know, on the weekends. So that's where we're going. We still call it camp. So here we go. Alright, so originally this was all overgrown with very, very tall briars and brush. We do have a brush pile we need to burn there. Over there is the shed we built when we first got here. And then we have the outhouse. So this is kind of the area we started with. It's pretty small in comparison, but this was the only thing like that we had cleared. So I'm going to turn this way, and you can see way up there where the sun is, that's where the orchard is at. So we got all this cleared, which took a while. Then there's our camper, just burn barrels. we moved our camper over here, and we got a little deck and fire pit, and my husband's parents come down and camp here on the weekends sometimes. So this is just our little camp area. And then on the other side of camp, where it used to be, you know, cornfield, is where our corn patch is, and it needs weeded badly. Now I will till this in between the rows, but we have pumpkins, corn, cantaloupe, and watermelon in there. And this is where my original garden was, which was close to camp when we were just camping. But then, of course, when we built the house, I'll turn this way, and you can see it's pretty far from the house. So it took me like 6 100-foot hoses to get down here to water it if it was dry. So that's why we decided to move the garden up that way. It's our huge sycamore tree. I love that tree. I fell in love with it when we looked at this property. I mean, that has to be hundreds of years old. And under it is our compost bins. I don't know how well you can see. It's so bright. So this is where all our, you know, clean out from the chickens go. Leaves, things like that. So make our own compost to go in the gardens. Alright, so that is about the first 4 acres of our property. We hope to expand the orchard. We've actually thought about putting a pond in the camp area, possibly a pole barn down here. So, you know, right now we're just working with what we have, trying to keep everything growing well and keep our animals healthy, and then we have all these little, you know, projects. I'm sure everybody does. So we are going to go to the woods, which is one of my favorite places to be. Right now, the wild roses, the multiflora roses are blooming, and it smells beautiful. And they're invasive, but they're so pretty. All right, into the woods. All right, we do mow a path through here, otherwise you would get tore up with stinging nettle. So beautiful back here. Me and Kane have been coming back here almost every day since school's been out. He's playing in the creek. Here's the roses. Like, they're everywhere, guys. I know, they're invasive, but they're so pretty, and they smell good, and they make great rose hips. So look at that. It's like climbing up in the tree. It's gorgeous. So I haven't made any videos in almost 2 weeks. I was really sick, and then I lost my voice for like 4 days. Luckily it was when school was pretty much over, so that's good, because it's hard to teach when you can't talk. More roses. There's a kitty. So I've been trying to, even though I didn't feel good, you know, keep working on the garden and stuff, because I had to get that planted, but I just did not have the energy to be filming. Look at this. Like, that is huge. Look at that rose. I know we're going to eventually have to cut them all out because they're going to strangle out everything, but for right now I'm just going to enjoy them. So this path splits. It goes this way over to the baby creek, or this way to the bridge that crosses the creek. So we're going to go this way. So our woods is 6 acres. My husband and my sons do hunt and fish. So we do have a lot of wildlife back here, wild game, deers and turkeys and stuff like that. So here's our little bridge. Over our little creek. Isn't that gorgeous? And it runs all year, so that's really nice. All right. So we're headed back through we're probably about halfway into the woods now. So there's our hunting blind, and there are trail cams and stuff back here. You see lots of deer. There is lots of food plot stuff planted in here, and look, there's irises that I'm pretty sure a squirrel has stolen from my flower beds and brought back here. Hey, G girl. Alright. Unfortunately, a lot of our ash trees are dying from the ash borer. That's why we have all those trees up by the greenhouse to replant. Try to help keep our woods alive. So that is food plot. It's planted with lots of brassicas and clover. It's hard to see right now because all the tall grasses, but we plant that for the deer. Alright, poison hemlock. Don't want to touch you. Gotta come put that back. So then we're almost to the big creek, and it runs year round. It's about, I don't know, mid-thigh in some places. It's beautiful. We love this creek. When we first looked at the place, we didn't even see this. We got like into where the baby creek is and came back out because it was so thick. It was like the middle of summer. We were getting ate up with stinging nettles, so we didn't even see this until after we bought it that fall. And we were so happy. We knew there was a creek back here, but we hadn't, you know, come all the way back. So there's the creek. Stuff has really grown up, so we're gonna go down here so you see better. So we own about a half an acre on the other side of the creek too, over there. We are in a river valley right now. There's two big hills on each side, over in that direction and then over that direction. So it's really pretty. It's a lot cooler down here. So in the heat of summer, it's nice to just come down here and sit. I probably shouldn't wear flip-flops. You hear my flip, flip, flip. Oh well. I just think it's beautiful. Alright, so that fence crosses. This is the very back of our property. There's a pasture behind us. There's our creek. It's a little chilly. Kane doesn't mind. He gets in anyway. But I think it's chilly. So beautiful. Thanks for coming on this homestead walk with me. I hope you enjoyed seeing our homestead and everything we have going on. We are almost at 200 subscribers, so if you are subscribed to our channel, thank you very much. We'll be doing a lot of videos this summer, and I hope that you will enjoy those. I hope you're growing something. If not, you know, you still got plenty of time. It's May 31st. It's the last day of May, so get something in the ground. Have a good one. We'll see you later. Bye.